Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your September 2018 mid-month general readings. Thanks for joining us here today, and welcome to any newcomers, and thanks for all of those likes, shares, and subscribes. And for those of you who continue to follow my YouTube channel, and always a big thank you to all of my clients out there, regular and new, for consistently reaching out for the personal one-on-one readings. You always keep me so busy, and I'm grateful for that. It's an honor and a pleasure. Thank you. If any of you are interested in any personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more information and contact details by either going to my YouTube channel's homepage, clicking on that little About button, or you can click on the description bar of all the videos I post. Please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I can usually get back to you within the first 24 hours of your initial contact. And scheduling is pretty timely too, anywhere from a few days upwards of a couple of weeks, but almost always within a couple of weeks or so we can set up a reading for you. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. So I'm sure we can find something that works for you. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life. All right, let's move right into this. This reading is for the Earth sign of Capricorn for the remainder of September 2018. So we're looking at the last 2 weeks of September for Capricorn. If you know your rising and moon sign, watch those videos as well. It can provide some helpful additional insight or clarification. General readings always resonate a little differently because there's so many of you watching, but the energy and advice always remains the same regardless of what area of your life it's resonating in. Okay, Capricorn. We have the Five of Wands followed by the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Wands followed by the Knight of Cups, and from the bottom of the deck your overall energy and guidance is the Eight of Cups. So your overall energy, Capricorn, is leaving something behind because you find it ultimately disappointing, disillusioning. It's run its course. It's turned out maybe to be something different than what you thought it was initially, because that's what this man is doing. He is turning his back on whatever it is these cups represent. Let's take a look at your elemental energy here. We have 1, 2 cups, and 2 wands. So water, emotional energy, and wands, which is fire energy. So it might be relationship issues for some of you. I feel like for some of you it's maybe in the job, work situation environment too. The Eight of Cups definitely represents as your overall energy and guidance for the next couple of weeks. You may be contemplating, some of you may be contemplating leaving behind the source of this conflict, because it does look like a conflict, although rather petty in nature. You may just be turning your back on it, or you may be considering turning your back on it. And I think a lot of you are actually going to be making the decision to turn your back and leave something behind, because I think some of you are recognizing or will recognize that it is petty in nature, and that especially if there's other people involved in this conflict, nobody's willing to compromise or negotiate, but you're going to elevate yourself and say, I'm done with this. I'm leaving this behind, whatever the nature of this conflict is, because it is conflict. And some of you, it's internal conflict too, on whether or not to leave something behind, whether it's a relationship. And by relationship, I don't mean just romance, love. It can be a friendship, a business arrangement, family, etc. We have the Five of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles around the middle of the month, third week of the month. Time always being relatively fluid. The Five of Wands is a card of conflict. Fives can represent conflict or a struggle or a push and pull kind of energy, which also provides us with the opportunity to learn and grow. But this conflict is petty in nature. We're only at the 5 here, and you can see 10s being completion, of course. You can see that the men in this circle are sparring with each other. They're using practice weapons, not real weapons. They're not out to kill each other. At least we hope not. No, they're not. But it represents a conflict which doesn't end, and it can represent it being petty in nature because they're not out to, really kill each other, so to speak. It can represent petty, conflictive energy or competitive energy. Nobody winning, nobody losing, but no real solution or resolution to it either. Nobody willing to compromise or negotiate. Nobody willing to elevate themselves and going, hey, what are we really kind of struggling and fighting? What is this really about, and is this really important? Nobody willing to do that. It can represent fighting over the same thing over and over again, the same argument over and over again. In social circles or friend groups, or even at work or the job, the work environment, it can represent gossiping, rumor mongering, backbiting, that sort of energy. It can represent, it's conflict fundamentally, and can represent internal conflict or external conflict with other people. Although honestly, I don't know any kind of internal conflict that doesn't affect the people around you, or having conflict with other people that doesn't affect us internally. So it's typically internal, external conflict, but it is petty in nature, although the people involved in it may not recognize that because they're just focused on winning, on being right, or it's just the same old argument. Now, what clarifies that is the Queen of Pentacles, which for a lot of you is just going to represent you, who you are, being exactly who you are in this situation. The Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles is earth energy. This is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, sun, moon, or rising, showing up as a female, but can also represent male as well. Kings and queens represent individuals who've mastered their game. They're at the top of their suit. So the Queen of Pentacles as an actual person would be very capable, resourceful, earthy, grounded, probably more prone to show her love and care and affection in tangible, practical ways, caretaking for people. She's the sort that can work a job or run her home and always looks good and makes great dinners and volunteers twice a month at the local charity, whatever, and makes it look kind of effortless because she's the Queen of Pentacles. She's the Queen of Earth. She's has an inherent capability for being capable and resourceful, particularly in the concrete earthly aspects of life. For some of you, it might represent another earth sign person, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising, who is significant. It could be that this is the person that it represents, or somebody manifesting like the Queen of Pentacles. Sometimes can be a mother figure, or older or sister, aunt. It could represent somebody that you're, that's the source of this conflict too. But I think for the majority of you, this is you in this conflict. The other thing too, as advice or guidance, Capricorn, is that the Queen of Pentacles, in terms of this kind of petty, conflictive energy, particularly if it's gossip, rumor mongering, the Queen of Pentacles would not indulge in this kind of behavior or indulge in this kind of circle for very long. She's far too grounded for that as kind of guidance or advice. If you are involved with a group of people who are actively doing this, or they're trying to, or you're getting caught up in this sort of thing. Now, at or towards the end of September 2018, we have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Wands is the push-through card. That's the advice about this. It's the 11th hour card, the card that always reminds me of that saying, it's darkest before dawn. Tens in the tarot, the number 10s represent completion, a cycle coming to an end or culminating. So the 9 represents that this soldier is very close to being done, to completing his battle, even though he may not be able to see it. This grouping of wands behind him represents this maybe last minute or unexpected obstacle, hurdle, challenge, delay, something. He's withdrawn, he's taken a knee, he's maybe feeling discouraged, depressed. You might be feeling a bit discouraged, depressed about whatever this conflict is, because it's right next to this conflict card. And it can represent feeling discouraged. Oh my gosh, is this ever going to be done? Am I going to be dealing with this over and over again for the rest of my life? How do I get through this? Is it possible to get through this? Should I give up? Don't. That's the question, that's the accompanying advice to the Knight of Wands. Push through. It's darkest before dawn. You're almost at the completion point. You may not be able to see it because it's right around the corner, which is why we can't see it, because it's right around the corner, but you're almost there. Push through. You're almost there. And there is help and support around you too, because the Nine of Wands is clarified by the Knight of Cups. Knights usually represent offers or opportunities, things coming to you, because the Knights are the bringers of the tarot. They're the deliverers of the tarot. They represent offers and opportunities, and they can also represent the speed at which a situation moves. They're usually known for being pretty fast moving. The Knight of Cups, cups is water energy, so it's that area of our life that deals with emotions, feelings, love, relationships, etc. So the Knight of Cups can represent an offer of love or an opportunity of love or of emotional support. Someone, maybe expressing their feelings of love to you or offering emotional support and encouragement to you during what appears to be a difficult time. You may be thinking about, giving up and walking away from something, a situation, a job, a relationship, etc. For some of you, you may actually end up turning your back on this because you just can't handle the conflict or arguing anymore, or maybe taking a reprieve from it. Some of you, it's just a question of hanging in there just a little bit longer because you're almost to a completion point in whatever this conflict is, whatever this struggle, this challenge is. You're being advised to actually just draw on the energies which are inherently, which are inherent to who you are anyway as an earth sign. Don't give up. You're closer than you think, and there is support around you. For a few of you, a smaller number of you, I'm feeling that actually this issue is going on with somebody very close to you, and you're the one that's actually offering support and advice and love and encouragement during it, because you and the Knight of Cups are sitting side by side, being very stable and grounded and offering that loving, supportive environment and foundation for someone else as well. So again, whether or not you end up turning your back on something, leaving it behind, I feel like some of you will be by the beginning of October, whether it's an actual decision to leave something behind or whether you just choose to remove yourself from, the energy of it, just to kind of elevate yourself, so to speak. So Capricorn, that pretty much wraps up your September 2018 mid-month general readings. I hope you found it useful or helpful in some way, or at least not too confusing. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you and set up a reading as quick as we can. You can get all that information and my contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on that little About button. Or you can click on the description bar of all the videos that I post. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also provided. That's a great app that provides quick answers to the easy, simple questions. So I will see you all again in a couple of weeks, Capricorn, for the October 2018 general readings. I should be back in the United States from Europe, then I'll be back in California. So I look forward to seeing you there. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care. Bye-bye.